Afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you guys so much for those that will be listening to this by way of replay. I am Coach Williams, Cassandra Williams of Cassandra Williams Enterprise, and I am your victory coach and the founder of Wise Wives Build, amazing community of women that are endeavoring to live this life called marriage God's way, right? And so we are here for Momentum Monday. I know it's the King holiday, and many of you are off work, taking advantage of festivities and things like that. But I did want to complete my assignment. Normally, I'm out here earlier in the morning, but I had a few things to take care of today. So we are having a midday momentum Monday. Okay. So, again, I am Coach Williams. I am a certified life and empowerment coach. And so, what I come out here to do on Mondays is to just give you a boost, motivate you, encourage you, provoke you, move you to action, right? Because once something is in motion, it's easier to stay in motion than it is to start and stop. Okay. And so today I just want to give you a little bit of encouragement to just encourage you to look. Remember the dream, okay? Today is a day that we honor and we celebrate the life and the legacy of Martin Luther King Jr., and he has an iconic speech called I Have a Dream, right? And so many of us had to learn it in school. Many of you have been listening to it today. You've been participating in certain festivities. And as you're going through that, I began to really think about it this morning that as he was accepting his purpose, accepting what God had for him in life. He was just doing it. Remember, he was not, now we look at it and we can see. Hindsight is 2020, right? But when people are in the midst of it, they're just doing what they were called to do. The goal was not to die. The goal was not to be put in jail. The goal was not to be persecuted, harassed, all of those things. That was not the goal. The goal was equality, right? To get rid of racism, to combat the things that were going on at that particular time. And so, as you're going through your day on today, as you're going through your week this week, I want you to remember the dream. I want you to be like, what were those things that God has shown you in the in the night, right? I hope you guys are writing down your natural dreams, right? Write down your dreams because those are messages from the Father, okay? What are those things that you want to do? I know some of y'all like, look, remember the goal, okay? What is the goal? Because sometimes when we can get so caught up in the minor details that we start majoring on the minor and we forget the ultimate goal, right? Because there may be some things that happened in between that kind of discourages you a little bit. There may be some things that don't go your way. There may be some things you're like, listen, I didn't sign up. Anybody got I didn't sign up for this. That you look at your life and you're like, listen, I didn't sign up for that. Yeah, I didn't read the fine print. Whenever you're reading a contract, there's this little bitty thing that most of us do not read, right? Guess what? There's some important stuff in that fine print. And sometimes as we're walking through this journey called life, there's some things that are in the fine print that we may have missed, right? Or we may not have understood 100% because some things are revealed as we go. So as you're remembering your goal, I want you to really think about everything you do today should be getting you to that bigger goal, right? There's one of my favorite movies. It's called Remember the Goal, okay? And it's about a lady that teaches a concept called tempo running. And so she would tell them not to worry about winning every race they just needed to qualify. They didn't need to win, they just needed to qualify because the ultimate goal for them was to win state. So it didn't matter if they won any other race. They just needed to qualify. They came in, I think, fourth place, which meant they qualified for national. They qualified for the regional race. Guess what? That was the one they wanted to win. So you may have to give up some things. You may have to kind of fall in line and steady your pace for a little bit. But what is the ultimate goal? What is the ultimate dream? What is the ultimate thing? Why are we here? Right? Why are we even doing this? Why as a coach, why do I show up every Monday for Momentum Monday? I show up. Why do I show up Tuesday through Thursday? For in Clubhouse. Why do I do that? Hey Tiffany, why do I show up? Because hey Anita, I want to see people win. The ultimate goal is win. The goal isn't to be liked. I don't show up for likes. I don't show up for hand claps, applauses. I don't show up for that. I show up for transition, for transformation. I show up because I want lives to be changed. That's why I show up. That's the goal. And so if lives ever stop being, if people are never, their life isn't changed, it doesn't matter, then guess what? You won't see me because I understand the purpose. I understand the goal, and I keep the goal in front of me. So a lot of people get to do a lot of things, but I don't get to do that. Your purpose will require certain things of you that others may not have to do. Most people did not walk the walk that Martin Luther King Jr. had to walk, right? Most people did not have to stand in the position that he had to stand in. Most people were not persecuted the way that he was persecuted. Most people were not talked about the way that he was talked about. Most people's families have not been harassed the way that his family was harassed. So when you really think about what came with their purpose, it wasn't a cakewalk. Even unto death, he died fighting for something for his children. And so you have to remember the goal, even when you have to be so focused on what God has called you to do that you're not distracted. Everybody else is doing. So on this Momentum Monday, I want you to remember the dream. Not just the dream that, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. had. I want you to remember your dream. I want you to remember that thing that God has deposited within you that's an extension of, because he did, we can. Okay? Because he did. Because our forefathers sat, we're able to stand. Because they sat down in places that they weren't supposed to, now we can walk through doors that were once closed to us because they never lost sight of the dream. There are things that my grandmother, my grandfather, and people that came before us were never able to do that I'm able to do right now, and I'm grateful. But I don't want to forget that. I don't forget their sacrifice, but I don't forget what God is calling me to do to pave a way for the people that are coming behind me. Remember the dream. Remember the dream. Don't get caught up in the details. Don't get caught up in the little bitty things. Keep your focus on the goal. Keep your focus on the big thing that God has showed you. Yes, there are little steps we have to take. But if I'm going from here, if I'm going from my city, if I'm going from here to Atlanta, I can't get distracted about what's going on in Marietta. And Marietta is not the goal. Atlanta is the goal. So I've got to go through Marietta to get to Atlanta. Y'all hear me? I've got to go through Marietta to get to Atlanta, but that's not where my destination is. So I can't get distracted by what I hear is going on in Marietta. The goal, the destination, the dream is Atlanta. And so I've got to keep pushing. I've got to keep pressing to get to the place that God has called me to get to. So on this Momentum Monday, I just came to encourage somebody to remember your dream. Don't put your dream down because it don't look like what it should look like right now. Don't put your dream down because somebody else said you couldn't do it. Do you know how many things, can I be transparent for a moment? Do you know how many things that people are doing right now God gave me a couple of years ago, and because I didn't move on it in that moment, because somebody told me, girl, that don't make no sense, don't do that, I would have been positioned for some things that, yeah, I would have been on, ahead, if you will. We look at it as we would be ahead of our time. Baby, you just been prepared when they show up. But because I didn't do it then, because I let somebody talk me out of it, because they didn't think it was a good idea. But guess what? God didn't give it to them. He gave it to me. So what is that thing that God has given to you to run with? I want you to run with it. It doesn't matter if nobody else is doing it. They weren't called to it. Don't get distracted by who can't walk with you in this season. Because they weren't called to what you were called to. So remember your dream. Because if I say remember the dream, y'all going to think, oh, you're going to go and you're going to want to remember Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream. You're going to want to remember Anita's dream. You might want to do Tiffany's dream. You might even be like, I'm Coach Twitch's dream. I want to get involved in it. No. What is that thing that God has given to you? I need you to keep that thing in motion. I need you to be able to run with it. Even if you got to run by yourself. What if there's not a team assigned to you right now? Huh? What if there's not a team? What if you are the team? What if you are it? Can you still remember the dream? When we look at the story of Joseph in the Bible, in Genesis, Joseph had a dream. And he was persecuted just for the dream. He was sold into slavery. He was thrown in a pit. He was sold into slavery. He was lied on. He was thrown into prison, all for the dream to come to pass. And there was nobody there but him. The very people that sold him into slavery was family. The people that he had showed the people that he had showed the dream, told the dream to, were the very people that sold him into slavery. When those that are closest to you, can you still remember the dream and stay consistent? Stay persistent. Stay focused to do your part. What if your part, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. had a part of the vision. We are still walking that thing out. We're still doing our part. And then once we're done, our sons, our children, our children's children's children, then they're going to do their part. Do your part. Are you doing your part? Are you waiting on somebody, anybody, and nobody's doing anything? Remember the dream. That's all I came out here to tell y'all on this midday Momentum Monday, where we come in to keep you in motion, where we're going to start. We've started this year strong, and we're going to end this year even stronger, okay? And so if you need to get in touch with me, you can, if you are a wife or an Esther in waiting, you can go to www.wisewisebuild.com. We would love to connect with you, hear from you, get involved with some of the things that we are doing. You say, Coach, listen, that wife thing ain't for me, but listen, I need to get my whole life together. Then you go to www.thecassandrawilliams.com, and we will be happy to connect with you. We do personal one-on-one coaching and mentorship, as well as we do group coaching. We have group coaching sessions and things like that, where we're going to be doing some different things this year. So I look forward to connecting with you as you maintain your momentum. And this is Momentum Monday, where we come out here every Monday to set the tone for our week. And today I want you to remember the goal, because you always have to keep the goal in mind. Remember the goal, that thing that you are aspiring to. Keep that in the forefront of your mind, because that is the thing that you should be reaching for. Sometimes you may have to be like, you know what, I'm gonna let you have that today, right? We don't like to lose, y'all. Some of us, we don't like to lose, and we're like, ugh. But sometimes the strategy is, I'm gonna let you have that today. Because what? I'm playing the long game. There's more on the other side. You might think I'm losing, but I'm really winning right now. What does it matter if you have, if when it really comes down to it, you can't perform in the playoff game? It doesn't matter if you got a winning season. You didn't win. It doesn't matter. And the goal is for us to win. We win, right? Which means we got to keep going. We got to keep pushing. We got to keep fighting. We got to make this thing happen God's way, not in your own strength. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you being obedient, staying in motion consistently, doing step by step by step. We remember, we resigned the first week. We resigned from the Start Stop ministry. Why? Because we want to maintain this momentum. And sometimes, y'all, I know we learned it in elementary school. Repeat after me. Sometimes slow and steady does win the race. It's not always the person that's fastest, it's the person that can endure. So, to my sister, my brother, my friend that feels like, man, I'm just slow and steady, can still win the race. All right. I love you all. Have an amazing rest of your day today. Go out there, do something great today, because we can. Yes, we can. All right. And I will see you next Monday for another Momentum Monday. Thank you to the replay viewers. Thank you, Anita and Tiffany, for being here live and being engaged. You ladies have an amazing day as well. And I will see you guys next Monday for Momentum Monday. And the ladies of Wise Build, I'll see y'all in the morning, okay? For the morning tea. Be blessed, everyone. Bye bye.